Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to Al-Akhlaq Qur'an Institute, and today inshallah we're going to continue with our lecture 5 of Hidayatul Mustafeed. So Hidayatul Mustafeed is the textbook we will be using inshallah to learn and practice the basic concept of Tajweed and how to apply them in the recitation of the Quran. So in the last class, we stopped at, the Tajweed book follows a question and answer format. So we stopped at as-su'al ma miqdaru maddi and then jawab. So basically, they are talking about what is how long is the elongation for maddu tabi'i? How long is the elongation supposed to be? And we've already talked about all of this in the previous class. Today, inshallah, we're going to continue with maddul far'i. So we're going to continue with maddul far'i. So they said, ما هو المد الفرعي وإلى كم قسم ينقسم. So maddul far'i is called secondary madda. Secondary madda. So they said, what is the secondary madda? And into how many categories is the secondary madda divided into? So they said, هو المد الزائد على المد الأصلي بسبب من همزة أو سكون وهو ينقسم إلى 13 قسما. So they said the secondary madda is the madda that branches off from the original madda due to a presence of hamza or sukun. So ينقسم إلى 13 قسما. It is divided into 13 categories. So we said الأول المد الواجب المتصل مد الجائز المنفصل مد العارض للسكون مد البدل مد العوض المد اللازم المثقل الكلمي المد اللازم المخفف الكلمي المد اللازم مثقل الحرف المد اللازم مخفف الحرف. We have المد اللازم مخفف الحرف المد اللين المد الصلة المد الفرقي المد التمكين. So these are the 13 categories of madda that we have under maddul far'i. So inshallah we're going to go through each and every one of them. We'll look into examples and how they are elongated, how long are you supposed to elongate each and every one of them, how many harakat are you supposed to do, and so on and so forth. So that's what we'll be looking at today, inshallah. Al-Maddul Far'i and its categories and also the elongation patterns that we have. So starting with the first question, I said, um, ما هو المد الواجب المتصل؟ So ما هو المد الواجب المتصل وما قدر مدي. I said, what is مد الواجب المتصل and how much is it lengthened? مد الواجب, this is the first one, مد الواجب المتصل. What is it and then how long is it? How much are we supposed to lengthen the madda? How much are we supposed to elongate the madda? So they said, هو أن يكون المد والهمزة في كلمة وواحد هو أن يكون المد والهمزة في كلمة واحد وقدر مد 5 حركات مثل ذلك. So they said this is مد الواجب المتصل. It is when the letter of madda and the hamza occurs in a single word. So the letter of madda can be alif sakina, waw sakina, and then ya sakina. So when you are looking at madda in the Quran and you notice one of the letters of the madda that I listed before, and then Hamza, they both appear within the same word. Mind you, the same word, not the same ayah, not the same sentence, the same word. Once they appear in the same word, it's going to be maddul wajib al-muttasil. Maddul wajib al-muttasil. And we said, وَقَدَرُ مَدِّهِ خَمْسُ حَرَكَاتٍ. So the madda is supposed to be elongated for 5 seconds. So you're going to count for 5 seconds when you're elongating your madda, and then that's how you're going to sort out your maddul wajib al-muttasil. So moving on, we said, looking at their examples here, we said, جاء سوء. Sha'a, Si'a. All these are Maddul Wajib al-Muttasil. Number one, we have the letter of Madda here, and then we also have Hamza within the same word. So this is why it is called Maddul Wajib al-Muttasil. Maddul Wajib al-Muttasil. And so, moving on to the next madda, we said, Ma huwa al-maddul jaiz al-munfasil. So don't confuse this. The first one was Wajib al-Muttasil, and now this one is Jaiz al-Munfasil. So they said, هو ما كان حرف المد في كلمة والهمزة في كلمة أخرى وقدر مده حالة الحذف حركتان وفي حالة التدوير 4 حركات وفي حالة الترتيل 5 حركات. So we have مد الجائز المنفصل. مد الجائز المنفصل. The first one we said مد الواجب المتصل, the one we talked about before this. This is when Hamza and the letter of Madda, this is when Hamza and the letter of Madda appear in the same word. Now, Maddul Jaiz al-Mufassal, this is when Hamza appears in a word and then the letter of Madda is in a separate word. Now, look at the examples that we have here. Ya ayyuha. If you look at the ya'un, ya, this is the letter of Madda, and then ayyuha is a separate word. Ya ayyuhan nas. So once you see letter of Madda and then Hamza or are in separate words, then it is going to be called Maddul Jaiz al-Mufassal. Then, Qu anfusakum. Qu, this is the letter of Madda, wow, and then anfusakum is a separate word. Qu anfusakum. Qu anfusakum. Qu anfusakum. So this is the letter of Madda, wow, and then alif, which are in 2 separate words. So we said, this is all regarding Maddul Jaiz al Munfasil. Just remember to just recall that we have 3 methods for elongating it. We have the longer, the shortest method, that is also um that's 2 harakat. We have the tawassut, which is 4 harakat, and then we have the longest elongation, which is 5 harakat. And then moving on, we said, ما هو المد العارض للسكون وما قدر مده. So, مد العارض للسكون. What is مد العارض للسكون and how much is it lengthened? So, هو الوقف على آخر الكلمة وكان قبل حرف الموقوف عليه أحد حروف المد الطبيعي التي هي الألف والواو والياء. So, wow, we're looking at مد العارض للسكون. So madul aridul lisukun is when um when someone is reciting and they stop at the end of a word. Now, this word can be in the middle of the ayah or can be at the ending of the ayah. It does or at the beginning of the ayah. It doesn't matter. But the person when the person is reciting the Quran, that person stopped there. So the first condition is the person has to stop at that place. Now the second condition is the just before the last letter. So once they once just before the last letter, just before the last letter of that word, you look there, and if you notice one of the 3 letters of madda, that is alif usakina, waw usakina, or ya usakina, then it is madul arid sukun. Remember the 2 conditions. The first one, you have to stop at that word when you are reciting. And the second one, the letter just before the last word has to be either alif usakina, waw usakina, or ya usakina. Now look at the examples. كالعقاب عقاب. So assuming you stopped at عقاب عقاب, assuming you stopped there. Look at just before ba, we have alif sakina. This is why we call it madul aridul lisukun. Now, khalidun. Just the fact that we stop here is going to make it to be madul aridul lisukun. Khabir, khabir. So this is madul aridul lisukun. And the same thing for the rules of elongation in madul aridul lisukun. We have 3 options. That is, you can do it full. That is 6. You can do it full. You can do it full. That is 6 harakat. You can do it tawassut, which is 4 harakat. And you can also do qasr, which is 2 harakat. So you can choose to prolong it for 2, 4, or 6 seconds. And then this is all we have for Maddul Arid al Moving on, okay, this isn't all we have for Maddul Arid al So I'm going to move on to the next question. The next question is, they said, Lima summiya maddul arid lisukun. So they said, why is this madda called maddul arid lisukun? Why is it called maddul arid lisukun? لأنه عرض عليه السكون في حالة الوقف وإذا لم يوقف عليه كان مد الطبيعي. Now, this just reinforces the what we talked about in the in 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 the previous question. So they said, why is it called Madul Arid Lisukun? They said, it is called Madul Arid Lisukun because of the pausing at a specific word. And when you stop on that word, a temporary sukun appears. So assuming, let's go back to the example here. We have كالعقاب عقاب. You won't hear anyone pausing here and saying عقابي, or when you're reciting when you're reciting the Quran and you come across a verse like where they say لهم فيها ما يشاءون خالدون. You won't say لهم فيها ما يشاءون خالدون. No, you are not going to pronounce the haraka on the last letter. You are going to assume a temporary sukun on that letter. So you say khalidun, you now hear khabir. You will never you will never hear anyone saying khabirun. No, you can't stop there like that. So it's supposed to be khabir, whether it's fatha, kasra, fathatain, kasratain, dhammatain, as long as you are stopping there and it is madul aridul lisukun, you are going to as long as you are stopping there and then there is a letter just before the letter just before the last letter is either alif usakina or usakina or ya usakina, then it is called madul aridul lisukun. So they said, وَإِذَا لَمْ يُوقَفْ عَلَيْهِ كَانَ مَدُّ الطَّبِيعِ. Now, assuming we don't stop there, then it will just be مَدُّ الطَّبِيعِ. That's also called مَدُّ الْأَصْلِ. We have talked about it before. So مَدُّ الطَّبِيعِ is just two harakat. Assuming, um, let's say خالدون. Let's say we're not stopping there. لهم فيها ما يشاءون خالدون كان على ربك وعدا مفعولا. So this is just a random example. So assuming you are stopping there, you are not going to elongate it. You are just going to recite it as if you are reciting Madul Asli, two harakat, and then you continue, you go on with your day. So this is why it's called Madul Aridul Sukun. This is all we are going to talk about today, inshallah. And in the next class, we're going to continue from this question. They said, um, Ma huwa al-Maddul Badal. We're going to continue from Maddul Badal, inshallah. So if you have any question, feel free to comment. And you can also reach out to me through WhatsApp, the link in the description. So you can reach out to me through WhatsApp, reach out to me in the comment section if there is anything you don't understand or you are not able to grasp, and inshallah I'll do my best to sort it out. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك السلام عليكم